Welcome back, boxers. Today I'm going to break down one of the slickest, smoothest and most useful footwork tools in all of boxing, the pendulum step. Its main use is to glide in and out of range, but it can also help you to create angles and keep you unpredictable with your rhythm. We're going to break it down step by step, and I'm going to show you some drills that you can practice, and then at the end I'm going to show you how to combine them all together for a nice little flow drill. So let's get to work and level up the footwork. So first things first, get into your boxing stance. Feet should be just about shoulder width apart, maybe slightly wider. You want to have your knees nice and soft. You want to be on the balls of your feet. And you want your ankles to be rigid. So you want your ankles tight at all times. It's the most important aspect of the pendulum step. So your ankles are always solid, they're always tight. Your knees are soft and relaxed, like you're on a surfboard. And you're going to be shifting your weight from the back leg to the front leg, just like you see here. You want your weight distributed about 60-40, 60% on the back leg, 40% on the front leg. And you want to get in a nice rhythmic bounce. We're not worrying about our hands at the moment. Keep your chin tucked at all times. And obviously you do want your hands up, but at the moment we're just focusing on the footwork. So there's actually two ways that you'll see boxers performing the pendulum step. One is more of a fast, rhythmic bounce where they stay more in place. And then the other one, they move more back and forth, but at a slower rhythm. So the first one would be like this, nice quick feet, but less movement in and out. And the second one is more like this, where you're moving more in and out, but a slower rhythmic bounce. And you'll see different pros using these different kinds of pendulum step. I wouldn't say either one is wrong or one is right. It's just whatever suits you more. And you can also use both of them, mix them up. So once you've got the hang of the basic movement, the first thing I would like you to do, the first drill, you're just going to stand in place and you're just going to perform the pendulum step over and over for 60 seconds. Here's a couple examples of what you want to avoid. You don't want your weight forward over the front leg. You want your weight to be slightly more distributed over the back leg, and you want to be upright like this. So your back leg is ready and loaded like a spring, like a coil, ready to push off and explode forward. The second mistake, you don't want to jump too high, and you don't want your feet coming too close together when you're coming back, like you see here. Okay, so you just want to glide across the floor. You don't want to be jumping high, you just want to be gliding back and forth, nice and relaxed, nothing too exaggerated, and the feet stay nice and wide. Okay, now we're going to whack out the magic pen, draw a little lightsaber on the floor. So you just need some sort of line on the floor that you can see. So shift your weight slightly to the back to load your rear leg. Use that loaded leg to push forward explosively, and your lead leg swings or hops forward, and then you reset again. To go backwards, you reverse the motion. So the lead foot pushes, and the rear foot slides. We'll go over that in a separate drill. So for this drill, again, I'd say perform it for 60 seconds. The pendulum step can get very tiring if you're not used to it. Okay, and we're going to mix it up in different ways. You can see here I'm just stepping over, then you come back into your bounce, stepping over, back into the bounce. Now we're going to work on the reverse, so moving out of range. So we're reversing the motion now, so the lead foot pushes, so your weight's on the front leg, you push back, and the back foot just slides back. Don't jump, alright, just glide. Use the pendulum step to get yourself back into position. Imagine there's a shot coming at you, and then boom, bounce out of range. Perform this drill again for 60 seconds. So now we've got a 3-minute round already set up. So we're starting off with just the bouncing in place. Then we've got stepping into range for 60 seconds. And now we've got moving out of range for 60 seconds. Okay, and when you feel comfortable with all of those, you can mix them up into one continuous round. And then you can start to add the circling in. So you can be bouncing in, you can be bouncing out, while circling around an object in both directions, keeping your pendulum step at all times. And you can perform that again for a 3-minute round. Here's another way you can practice the drill. So it's just combining what we've just been doing. So we're just stepping into range, and then we're bouncing, and then we're stepping out. So we're using the back leg to push off, go forward, and then we're using the front leg to push off to go backwards. And nice and easy. You want to practice it nice and slowly and relax first of all, and build up the speed as you get more comfortable with it. Always maintaining that rhythm as you go. And what we don't want to do is just move back and forth with the pendulum. So now we're going to go over some lateral movement whilst in the pendulum step. Okay, so you're just going to be moving side to side like this. So if you want to move to your left, then you're going to be pushing off your right foot. And if you want to move to your right, you're going to be pushing off your left foot. Or vice versa if you are the opposite stance. So the key is here to always maintain that wide base. Always in the pendulum bounce, as you see. And you're just going to be moving left and right. If you have enough room to do a full circle, I would recommend going a full circle one way and then switch it and go the opposite direction. Same again, practice that for 60 seconds straight. Okay, so now we're going to get into combining the pendulum step with some other footwork moves. So as you can see here, I'm going to be in my pendulum step, I'm going to be bouncing in and bouncing out, and then I'm going to perform the L step. Now if you're not confident with the L step and other basic footwork moves, I will put a little link to another video here where I go over them in detail. So you're just going to perform your pendulum step, you're going to move in and then out of range, and then you're adding a little L step onto the end. And that's the drill. So you're going to perform that one again for 60 seconds, get a nice flow to it. It does flow nicely with the movement. Should feel good once you get the hang of it. And then once you can perform the pendulum step with the L step, we're going to add in the pendulum step with the reverse L step. So obviously it's basically the same movement, but you're going to be moving the opposite way. So we're just focusing on keeping our feet a nice wide distance at all time, keeping the stance, ready to throw our shots, ready to strike, ready to evade. You see here, I'm moving one way, and then I'm going the opposite way. I'll show you from the front angle. So it's the L step. So we're bouncing in, bouncing out, perform the L step, reset, go again. Okay, and then we're going to perform the reverse L step like you see here. So it's a very similar movement. We don't want to ever be predictable with our movement, so it's good to know how to go both ways. So as you see here, you're just stepping back with the lead foot, opening up, back to position, and then you go again. Nice wide stance at all times, maintaining a good balance. So now we'll move on to the pivot. So it's the same bounce, it's the same in and out movement, and we're going to pivot to our lead side. So we're going to be going the opposite way when we did to the L step. Remember, you always pivot off the lead foot and you push off the back foot. Always straight back into the step, straight back into the bounce. This is a great movement for slipping off to the side after you've thrown a combo, after you've got in and out of there, and you change the angle. Okay, so then on to the next one. So now we're going to mix up both of those drills that we just performed into one continuous flow drill. So we're going to bounce in and out, we're going to L step, and then we're going to pivot off at the end. As you can see here, creating angles, confusing the opponent, opening up space. It's going to help you to be really unpredictable with your exits and entries. Always keep them guessing, never let them know where you're coming from. I would say you can perform this drill for a whole 3 minutes. Just coming in and out, pivoting and L-stepping, mixing it up. A nice little flow. And then just use those movements and create your own little combination of flow drill out of that. So there you have it, guys, that's my breakdown of the pendulum step. Once you get the hang of that, it's going to start to feel really good. It's going to improve your boxing and do wonders for your footwork. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you found this one useful. Please like, share and subscribe. And leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see next, alright? Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.